You know, over the years, I've heard a lot of people talk about what they'll do when they get to heaven, what they'll do when they see Jesus face to face. But have you ever stopped to think, what will Jesus do when he sees you in heaven? You know, years ago, my family and I started sponsoring this little boy from Guatemala named Juan Pablo. He was about 6 months old when we started sponsoring him. And about a year after, we found ourselves at the orphanage that Juan Pablo was at in Guatemala. First thing we did when we got there is we went and found Juan Pablo. And you know, when we walked into the room, he was sitting on the floor playing. And I was overcome with emotions because in that moment, I realized this is the boy that we have prayed for. This is the boy that we have helped provide food and clothing and shelter for. And I sit down on the floor and I play with him and I cried the whole time. And after about a half hour, he climbed up in my lap and he hugged me. Man, you're talking about a crazy moment. But you know, that night I was laying in bed and a thought occurred to me. What will Jesus do when we finally make it home? You see, he didn't just sponsor you and me. He didn't just provide us with food and shelter and clothing. No, he gave his life so that we could have life here on into eternity. And could you imagine when that which you have purchased with your life sits down in your lap for the first day of eternity? Oh, what a glorious day that is going to be. Welcome home, my child. Woo. Love you guys.